Hey guys, how's it going? Thanks for being here and watching this video. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, comment, or like. It helps me and it helps to promote the video. Now, as far as the 5.4 in a Ford goes, you can see we have here, this is a 2011 Expedition, and there are some variations of the 5.4 over the year. But I'm going to give you some tips on removing this engine that will hopefully help some of you guys in the future. Now, I'm going to tell you right now that this is a bear of a project. There's just a lot to it. There's a lot of components smashed in a small space. So be prepared to spend some time. But it is definitely possible in your home garage as long as you've got some of the right equipment. Now, first and foremost, I will tell you that on this 2011, the motor mounts are a gigantic pain in the butt to clear when you're trying to pull the engine out. I have found that it is easier, so they're down under here and you can't get to them because they're underneath all of this crud on this side, and the same on the other side. It's behind the AC compressor. But I have found that it is easier to jack it up as high as you can, and then remove the bolts that hold so there's a cradle, the motor mount, and then a cradle. So you'll have a bolt that goes through to hold the motor mount to the engine, and then the other bolts hold the motor mount onto the cradle of the frame rail. It's easier to remove that piece, so jack it up as high as you can, remove that piece. Same on the other side, jack it up as high as you can, remove the other motor mount, and remove that center section from there. Then you'll be able to slide the engine forward. Otherwise, there's really not enough height. You can see here to clear the firewall, there's not enough height. You can't get it high enough to clear those and pull it forward. The other thing is your intake manifold. You're gonna have to remove that so that you've got enough clearance between the firewall and the engine to pull it out. I mean, if you really want to fight it, you can, but it's really difficult if you don't remove the intake manifold. And I will also tell you that removing, you can see here's my coil pack there, and then I'm missing coil pack there. If you don't remove that coil pack back there, it's going to hit on all of these lines and you'll end up breaking it. So removing that farthermost back coil pack on the passenger side really, really helps. The other thing is that if you're trying to do it without removing the power steering pump and the AC compressor, it's really difficult. The easiest thing to do is to disconnect the power steering lines. So here, this is your low pressure side that comes from your reservoir, and then the high pressure side comes up here. It's easier to remove those and disconnect them than it is to remove the power steering pump itself. And then on the AC side, it is a lot easier to disconnect these two lines. You've got you've got this line right here, and then you've got the other line goes up back over here. It is a lot easier to disconnect those lines, and you'll end up evacuating the entire AC system, but it's easy enough to charge it. But it is easier to remove that AC compressor, or to remove those lines, than the AC compressor. It's just really hard to get to the bolts. They're all on the back side down underneath here, and it's really hard to get in there to get onto them. The other tip that I got for you guys here is you can see how I've got my chain. So I've got a chain that goes in the middle here, and I use the two front bolts that mount the alternator, and then the two top bolts in the back for the bell housing. That's the easiest place that I found to lift this, because everything's aluminum, so it's really hard to get onto. Like these studs, they just go into the covers. So finding a spot to lift it, that is probably the easiest spot that I found to lift it from. Let's see. I'm trying to think of anything else. That's pretty much it. Just be prepared to spend some time. It is definitely a project, so be patient, be prepared to spend some time on it, and you'll be fine. Anyway, thanks for watching the video, guys. Hopefully that helps some of you out. If you have any more questions, put them in the comments below. I will do my best to answer them. Thanks for watching, guys, and as always, have a great day.